dedicated to helping you find the safe and simple approach to buying income-producing real estate. If you have any questions about the program or to arrange a consultation, call toll-free 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. Now, today's edition of the Real Estate Show.
And hello, South Florida. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Real Estate Show. South Florida's #1 program about real estate every day, and America's longest running daily radio show all about the topic of real estate. My name is Eric Willner, and I am your host as we have been here for a good long time, since 1999, bringing you the Real Estate Show, real estate information, real estate news, and tips and ideas that you can use in having better real estate, performing better, more profitably, and more stable and secure. And this week we've been talking about the concept of good credit, because as we now stare down the final few weeks of 2021, as we now, I don't want to call it celebrate, but complete the nearly 2 years of the pandemic, it is a testament to surviving the good times, the bad times of real estate, where many real estate shows have come and gone. The Real Estate Show here is America's longest running daily radio show, daily and every day since 1999. And we've been talking about real estate and what we like to call the simple and safe approach to buying income producing real estate. And whether it's your first home or whether it's your 21st investment property, come here, listen to the Real Estate Show, learn and take away lots of great information that you can use to make your real estate experience a better one. And, you know, if it was up to me and I could make America stronger myself, it would be by having more people to own real estate, to own their very own piece of the American dream, to be more stable, more financially sound, and have a better financial future. And all of this comes from owning your own piece of real estate. And a lot of that begins, of course, is based on how easy that might be. Has to do a lot with whether you've got good credit or not. So every once in a while, we kind of circle back around and have that conversation of what is a good credit score, what constitutes the components of a credit score, how's it calculated, how's it figured out, and what many people don't even understand. The fact is that there isn't just one credit score. There is the Fico score, which is a trademarked score that has its own proprietary and secret little formula of how it is calculated. But even within the Fico family of the credit scores, you have a real estate or mortgage FICO, an auto FICO. There are a whole host of different versions and variations, which somebody very astutely marketed them differently. And the risk characteristics or profiles that you want to look at for different types of lending vary. So it makes sense to have more than one credit score. Now, that also does make it a little bit more difficult as far as making anything uniform and making, a similar or same decision. But here's the bottom line. It's not all of the credit decisions are made on a credit score. In fact, as you know, if you're a regular listener here at the Real Estate Show, we have a program which doesn't even count credit scores when it comes to getting a first-time home buyer their home. So like I said, it really doesn't matter to me what your credit score is. It really doesn't matter to me what your ability to raise a down payment is. What is most important is your ability to make the monthly payments once you have financing. And there's different ways of doing that are not the traditional forms that banks use. But this week here, as I mentioned, get in preparation, because in the month of December, we're going to turn our focus to setting a whole new set of goals. And we're going to discuss, how we did with our goals this year. But more importantly, what is what it is. You can't undo it. Today, I'll tell you a funny story. I was on the a video conference call, a Zoom call with a person talking about, our automatic landlord debt solution and how you set up a certain software system and program that, when it comes together, shows you how to cut your mortgage costs by literally one half to one third. And you can save a ton. And when I'm talking about a ton, whatever your mortgage amount is, imagine if you could cut 20, 30, 40, 50% of the interest cost off and never have to pay it to the bank. And that's what's possible when you employ the system. Anyway, we were talking about that. And I made the comment that having been 25 years in the mortgage industry, I can usually see when refinancing is appropriate. But using this system, you can reduce your effective interest rate without refinancing. So regardless of credit, you don't have to qualify for a bank, nothing, right? You can just put this system into place, and it will then help you save tons of money, lots of money, probably more than you make a year. This program will save you on your mortgage payments over the course of the shortened time that you'll have this loan. If you love your lender, you're just going to love them for less time. If you hate your lender, we're going to show you how to get rid of your lender in one third to one half the time. Anyway, and I was saying that when I sit with a client or I meet a client, when we're talking about putting this system in place, I'll look at the numbers to see if refinancing helps the case or not. And if it helps, then we'll combine the two, and then it's just like magic. But sometimes where it's really, it's not that advantageous to refinance, start the clock over, add the closing costs, and start the clock from, let's say you've had a loan for 5 years, you've paid 60 payments, and now you're going to start the clock over by refinancing. You're going to have 360, and you're going to have to still count the 60 that you made. You can't undo it, and you can't undo a refinance if you did a refinance a couple years ago, because they were saying, well, what if you already refinanced? That's fine. We're still going to save you a ton of money, but I probably could have saved you more had you spoken to me before you refinanced. And that's why, by the way, today, if you would like to schedule a time to call us, all you have to do is go to our website at automaticlandlord.com. That's automaticlandlord.com. You can book an appointment right there. Same thing on our Facebook page. If you go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Real Estate Show, all you have to do is click on the book an appointment or set an appointment, and you can already pick the convenient time for you. If you've already done the refinance, and by the way, if you've gotten one of these 2% rates or 3% rates right now, don't worry, you didn't hurt anything. That's a great rate that you can have. We're just going to show you how to get to the finish line. In other words, zero debt, much, much faster. And in which case, credit score doesn't matter. This whole week for you is going to be entertaining, but not that important. But for everybody else, I will tell you that having a good score, having a good credit score is critical to having a smooth, easy, and inexpensive financial future. And if you have a high credit score, they say, fixing credit is expensive. And I'll show you it actually isn't. But what is very expensive when you think about it is having bad credit, because you pay higher insurance costs on your automobile insurance, on your homeowner's insurance. You're going to pay higher interest across the board on credit cards. Since I started working with this company and fixing my own credit, I will tell you that I have a new type of mail coming into my mailbox, offers that I hadn't gotten before. Zero interest for, a year, for 2 years, things that I didn't even realize were still around now that we've kind of fixed things up and tweaked and made it a little bit better and a little bit better. And it's something that you kind of always work on, because as you're going to learn in today's show, first of all, let's talk about what is a good credit score, right? And for a score with a range, and let's talk about the whole rainbow of range. There is no score lower than 300. Okay, either you have no score, you don't exist as far as credit scores go. You're not you're not on the scoreboard yet. You haven't been registered, don't exist. You're too new in the country, or too young, whatever the case may be. There's no credit score below 300. Okay, that's it. And there's no credit score above 850. That's the range in the score. Don't ask me how they got to that range. That's what it is. And a credit score of 700 or above. So you can see we're way over here on the end of the spectrum. So a 700 or above is generally considered good. Okay, I didn't say excellent. I didn't say wonderful. A score above 700 is considered good. What does that mean? Below 700 is not considered good. Could be considered average, could be considered okay, but it's not considered good. And really sort of the switch happens at 720. So if you want to remember something, in fact, remember 720 not only because that's what's going on right now in the financial world, but what's also going on is our 720 Club Credit Challenge. I want you to be a member of the 720 Plus Club. And so together, the company that we use that helps people to improve, strengthen, solidify, or even go backwards and repair, they are putting a promotion with a grand prize of $10,000. So I want to share this with you, our listeners, because I would love for one of my listeners to win that. In fact, I will even help coach you in that contest. And if you want more information and learn how to be part of that contest, I'm going to talk more about it in the second half of the show. All you have to do is text the word credit to 561-861-2366. Once again, that's 561-861-2366. And I'll tell you what the rules, how to participate and everything. And it involves a couple of things. It's kind of like, these big weight loss, the biggest loser. In this case, it's the best credit improver. But you don't have to be the biggest improvement. So I'm not looking for just the folks that have bad credit and then we're going to bring it way up. If you either have a 720, we're going to talk about how to maintain it and maybe tweak it and improve it. So there's no such thing as a loser in this contest when you really think about it, because if your credit score gets better at any measure, it was worth the challenge. And it's a challenge that we're going to have a before and after proof of what your credit score was before the contest starts and when the contest ends. And what they want you to do is you need to either have and maintain a 720 credit score, or not have but finish with a 720 plus credit score. Any of those makes you eligible for the final drawing of the $10,000 first prize, $5,000 second prize, and a whole bunch of other trips, a lot of things of value. And like I said, for the first several that come in, I want to take, because if you're a quick action taker, then I want to personally coach you in that process. And so all you have to do is text the word credit to 561-861-2366. So 720 is sort of the magic number, and you can see that there's people that are going to put tens of thousands of dollars in other people's pockets to prove that point. Now, most consumers have credit scores that fall between 600 and 750. That's where the majority of the population sits. Okay, remember 300 to 850, but most people are in the 600 to 750. So if you're below 600, you should be one of the first ones that is texting the word credit to the number that I just gave out. If you have anything below 600, and if you're in the 600s, I would probably even say the same thing. What's interesting, over the last 12 months, the average FICO score in the U.S. reached 710 points. 710. So if you're not at 710, you are below average. Now, I'm not saying that is the score, and that is whose score? Your score. So I hope that you're above that, above average. But if not, why not enter? It's free to enter. There's no cost to enter the challenge. There are conditions for winning, like I said, and I'll send those once you text the word credit. But to get to a 710, it does take some conscious effort. You can't either you're not doing much and have great credit, or you are carefully monitoring what you do, pay your bills nice and on time, the utilization and everything. So higher credit scores, statistically speaking, are an indication of a lower risk in lending money. And that's why every lender, every bank, every credit card, every car financing agency, they all use credit scores. Higher scores make creditors more confident that you will repay future debts as agreed. They say past performance is not necessarily an indication of future performance, but the old saying, how you do some things or how you did some things is how you do most things. And if how you did something was poor on your credit bureau, it's going to affect job offers. It's going to affect even jobs that you can get, because with poor credit, there's a lot of high trust or financial positions that will not hire people with a low credit score. So if you're below that 710, that already cuts you off from certain job opportunities. It cuts you off from the best insurance rates, the best loan rates, credit cards, and so forth. But creditors may also set their own definitions for what they consider to be good or bad credit scores when evaluating consumers for loans and credit cards. And like I said, we have our own programs where we may look at a credit report, and we'll look at the report more than the score, because we know that scores count certain things heavier than others. But what we're looking for is patterns of payment, right? The person that gets mad at somebody and just says, bump you, I'm not going to pay you, is a harder consumer to deal with than somebody who's always paid habitually on time. But then there's an illness, an accident, a death, a business that went south or something, where you have a blip on the radar, but everything was good before the blip and everything has been good since the blip. Then I believe that, bad things unfortunately happen to good people, and they deserve a second chance. And we're willing to give it. And probably putting this 25 years of experience allows us to see and read. I can tell something about you looking at your credit score, and looking at your credit report, that you might not even realize. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. Here are a few words from our sponsor. When we come back, I'm going to continue talking about what is a good credit score, what is a Vantage score, what is FICO, what affects your credit score, and why are different credit scores, why are there different credit scores, and having a good credit score, how important that can be. So don't touch that dial. You're listening to the credit edition of the Real Estate Show. My name is Eric Willner, and I'll be right back. I could go on for hours. Are you getting this? And when you put this together with our Fearless First-Time Homebuyer program, you understand why we're able to put people that are unbankable into homes. And I believe, that's kind of our mission, to enable and empower more people to own a piece of the American dream. And I want to do that for Dorian, for Jose, for Lloyd, for Simone. Although I know Simone has her own home, and maybe some of you already have a house, but what about having a second house? What would be wrong with having a second house that provides lifetime retirement income? What would be wrong with that? What would be wrong with having 10 of those houses? Hey, Felipe, how are you? And there's another homeowner and investor, one of our regular listeners. And, we spent today a lot, working on this, our automatic landlord solution and the conversation. I've got a week. What's today? Tuesday, right? A week from today. I got to remember to mention that on our radio show. That a week from today is our next our special edition add-on, Fearless First Time Homebuyers Workshop. What was the word that I used for that show? I forget. Discover Big Table, Path Home. I remember. And welcome back. For those of you just joining us here on The Real Estate Show, my name is Eric Willner. I am your host here on The Real Estate Show, which is not only America's longest running daily radio show, but Florida's #1 show about real estate. That's where we started. But today, with the streaming on the internet, there's 5 different ways that you can watch and participate in the Real Estate Show. #1, our local AM 1470 on the FM dial, 95.3, 96.9 on the app. Okay, now it's no longer local. The apps, which are cellular signals, means that you can listen to a radio station in San Francisco, New York, Florida, just the same way on your phone, no matter where you are. If you have the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, the radio.com app, and that's just to name a few of the free apps that you can download onto your smart device. And then just look for WWNN Money Talk Radio and look for The Real Estate Show, which is live at 5 p.m. every single day. Now, if you can't remember all 5 different ways, just remember automaticlandlord.com. That's automaticlandlord.com, which is our main website for a number of our services. But there's a link right there that you can tune in and listen to the radio show live at 5, right? Streaming live from any computer anywhere in the world that has any internet. Or you can listen to us on demand at any time, 24 hours a day, just by going to automaticlandlord.com. Go to the top of the page where it says The Real Estate Show. Click on any one of the past shows that you want to see. For instance, today's show will be up there in 24 to 48 hours, and you'll be able to listen to this show as well. And finally, we have our Facebook Live page, which right now we're streaming, and so you can actually see and hear the radio show at the same time, where I'm sitting here saying hi to Thomas and Felipe and Simone and Lloyd and Jose and Dorian and or Dorian, I should say, I think, now that I look at the spelling better, and a whole list of other folks that are on there. And this is a way for you to be able to watch the Real Estate Show regardless of where you are. Our show that started out as a little local AM show 22 years ago, today is heard coast to coast by many people, both live recording podcasts, which on our website you can download and take it offline as well. So lots of different ways. And so I wanted to jump in a little bit, and I want to talk about the 720 score challenge. And if you want to participate and put your hat, put your name in the hat of the 720 challenge, here's what all you have to do. Very simple, because I'll help you and I'll walk you through the rules. You're going to submit a before and after credit score. And I'm going to give you in just a second a text line where all you have to do is text one simple word, the word credit, to our text line, and that will start the process. And then you'll get all of the rules. And like I said, the first 25 people, because I can't work with more than that, I'm going to coach them, and I want to see if we can help one of those lucky folks to be the winner of the $10,000 720 Club Challenge. So the idea, or the tagline there, is break away from financial traps and take control of your score. Enroll right now. Text the word credit to 561. You can do it right now while I'm talking. I'm going to continue to tell the rules, but the number is 561-861-2366. That's 561-861-2366. So here's basically what it's going to do. And it's basically this. Number one is you're going to submit a before score. What is your score now? And it doesn't matter. It could be 300, which can't go any lower than that. 400, 500, doesn't matter. I mean, it's only going to benefit you, because even if you're not the winner of the grand prize, you're going to be the winner because you're going to finish this with a better credit score, number one. Number two, maybe even more important, is that you're going to have a better understanding, and you'll be able to continue to improve your credit score on your own. So you're going to have a before, and then when the deadline of the contest, and I'll talk about that in a second, you'll do an after. So maybe you started at 700 and you ended up at 770. That would be awesome. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to notice the difference in the mail you get, the rates you get, and all sorts of other things. We're going to talk about how to set up a credit protection plan for you to be able to now, once you've improved your credit score, how to protect it so that you don't take 2 steps forward and 3 steps backwards. We're going to talk about 4 lifestyle progress photos. Now, this is the fun part, right? I mean, a contest has to be fun. Not only are we going to have the sort of the before and after, and maybe you're going to have like a tape measure around your waist and say, listen, I gained 100 points and lost 3 inches because of the challenge. And the bottom line is that you either have to achieve during that time frame, and I believe I'm going to look at the dates in just a second, because there were 2 options depending on when you started. You need to achieve or maintain 720 plus credit scores. Again, all you got to do right now, because the music is coming in, we're about to wrap it up for today's show. All you got to do is text the word credit to 561-861-2366. Let me say that again. It's 561-861-2366, or just email us on our website at automaticlandlord.com. I'll help you the rest of the way. Anyway, that's it for today's show. This is Eric Willner signing off for another great edition of the Real Estate Show. We'll be back here, same place, same time tomorrow. Until then, drive safe and make it a great credit day. That was pretty easy. Hey, Thomas. So it's cool in my coaching practice. From time to time, a couple of times a year, I will issue a challenge, and basically what a challenge is, it's we'll go through some of the steps of whatever it is that I'm coaching on, whether it's on building up a real estate business, investments, building up a real estate agent's practice, or in this case, improving credit. Hey, thank you very much. And let's see here. Happy Thanksgiving. 2 more days, T-minus 2 more days. But the challenge is basically we're going to lay out a couple of step-by-step processes for you to get the results that you do. If you follow the results, the steps that I talk about, you're going to get a result. If you follow it and really work hard at it, you're going to get a really good result. If you kind of wishy-washy halfway, you're going to get wishy-washy halfway results, but you're still going to get results. And that's why I said the challenge is great, whether you win the grand prize, which would be just wonderful. Imagine, improving your credit, raising it 100 points, and then winning $10,000. I would imagine that would be a great way to end the year. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here on our live stream. First of all, shutting off our YouTube feed, and then followed by our